We will now begin, and we have the usual running order with DSA Engage, DSA Active, what's been happening with government information, training and helpline, WorkFit, our voice, and a little excerpt of just one of our oral history podcasts, and then we'll move to questions. Thank you. So over to Sharon.
Hi, good morning, everybody. As always, lovely to see you. And as always, I'm delighted to talk about DS Engage, which is our project or program of activities that's bringing so much fun and without any doubt, helping people to be fit and healthy and certainly active and spend less time sitting on the settee. So it's a fully blended program. We have pre-recorded events, a whole selection of them now on our YouTube channel for you to choose from. Those you can just play and watch and join in anytime. And there's literally everything. Lots of things to keep you fit, like workouts and dance and yoga. And then also lots of things to make, cooking and crafts and songs to join in with. So you need never be bored. There's plenty to keep you going. And we also have a full weekly program of live events. Those are events on Zoom, where it's really fun to see everyone joining in at the same time, doing lots of different things. We have a disco, which is everybody's favorite event. And as well as disco, we have workouts, we have dance, and we have Pilates. So you'll find something to join in with and have fun without any doubt at all. And all the details, like it says here, are on our website. So if you want to sign up for literally anything, go to our website and you'll find it there. So the next slide starts to show you what we always enjoy hearing and seeing is how people are getting on, what they're enjoying, and of course, what they'd like to see more of. So Reese here in the video with Alex has been fantastic at challenging Alex. And this video is on our YouTube channel. It's really good. See how many uppercuts you can do in 21 seconds. See if you can beat Reese or you can beat Alex. And if you can think of any more challenges for Alex, please do send them in. We don't want him sitting around and not being fit and healthy. So send in lots of challenges for him. And thank you to Reese, because this is a great little film to watch. And the next slide shows, I think this could be my favorite session of last week, Mr. Motivator's Let's Get Physical Workout, which is on a Wednesday evening at 6:30. And this is not just for our organization, it's for lots of people, plus lots of people who have Down syndrome join in. So there's more than 100 people were there. And I'm very proud to say everyone I saw and recognized was doing really well and stayed joining in right to the end of the session and really challenging Mr. Motivator, I think, to keep going. So that's a great fun session. It's like a comedy, a dance, music, all wrapped up into one amazing session. And the next slide shows our timetable. Just to remind you, this is on our website, shows you the complete live timetable, everything you can do throughout the week, and you can sign up and join in. So just to highlight a couple of things, next Tuesday evening, we have our disco. So next Tuesday, it's an evening disco. We have 2 live singers and of course the whole disco. So that would be great fun. It's at 8:00 in the evening. So even if you're at work or you're at school or your college or anything, you can still do that one in the evening. Wednesday, Mr. Motivator is also in the evening. So hopefully lots of people are free for that. And this afternoon is Pilates. So if you want to just relax and stretch into your weekend, then join in Pilates. And any of these sessions are for the whole family. So you can do it if you're a parent, you're a carer, you're a person with Down syndrome, anyone who wants to do it, please do it. And I just want to ask for your help, because we have sent out a survey this week to see what people would like to see happening going forward, what you want to join in with. There's still a chance for you to answer that survey and let us know if you haven't yet. Because obviously I know what sessions I like and I could do Mr. Motivator all week, but maybe you want something else. So just let us know, answer that survey, and we'll try and include people's suggestions, what they'd like to see. So moving on, this weekend, what are you going to do? Well, this weekend, the forecast looks a little wet. So I thought, let's go back to something you can do indoors. This is a great word search all about dogs, because we know almost everyone seems to have a dog these days. So do this word search about all the dogs, see if you can find all their breeds. And then the next slide just shows some special one-off events. Now, this was exciting this week. This has just happened. So sorry, you've missed it if you didn't join in. But Mr. Motivator did a special week supporting body and soul. And we had special dance, well, like lessons, classes every day of the week, and a live event, massive live event this morning at 9:30. And look who's here on Mr. Motivator's webpage was Lindsay, his #1 best friend, I think, and promoting body and soul. So Lindsay, I was so chuffed to see you on all of Mr. Motivator's publicity, and well done. And lots of other people joined in with that this morning. So that was really good and good fun. And finally, coming up over the next few weeks, the end of May, the talent show is going to be so much fun on the 25th of May. We have a full lineup for you. So many talented people taking part. Everything from opera, Michael Jackson dance moves, other dancing, more singing, piano playing. So please come along and join in and support the performers, even if you're not performing yourself this time. It's going to be really great. And then 2 weeks after that, we have Singing Hands coming back. So those are all been special requests. So those will be really good events. So please sign up now, make sure you've got your place. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Now for Alex.
Thank you very much, Joe. And yeah, send your challenges in. Reese beat me on everything. So I could do with some new challenges. And someone maybe I can keep up with this time. He absolutely thrashed me. Anyway, as you're probably aware, from Monday in England, there will be some changes to the current restrictions, particularly around indoor facilities. So I was just going to run through those today. So from Monday in England, more indoor facilities are opening, including group exercise classes. Some leisure centres should be reopening now, and even saunas and steam rooms. So there you go. If that's your thing, they should be reopening on Monday. In Wales, there was a change of rules on the 3rd of May, which saw outdoor sport and leisure facilities reopen. Indoor sport facilities are open as well, but not indoor recreation facilities. So those are things like soft play, for example, are not allowed to reopen quite yet. And in Northern Ireland, there might be changing the rules today. This was correct as of last night. So keep an eye out if you're in Northern Ireland for the rules in case they do change. But gyms, swimming pools, and indoor leisure facilities are open. Up to 15 people can take part in structured outdoor sports, and up to 10 people for unstructured sports. So that's unaffiliated sport. So having a kick around in the park, for example, would count as that one. So that's up to 10 people for that one. Can I have the next slide, please, Jill? Just a reminder, DS Active sessions are back up and running. You can find all details on our website, which is constantly updated and kept up to date with which sessions are back and when they are running. So keep an eye on that. And we will be putting details very soon of our summer festivals as well. So please do keep an eye on the website or email us, and we will be happy to pass on those details. And then for my final slide today, I just wanted to go through where we are with a couple of European projects, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. So we are currently working on 2 European projects with a range of different European partners, all of which are looking at inclusive sport and physical activity for people with Down syndrome. So a big thank you to everyone who filled in the sports and physical activity for people with Down syndrome survey, which I sent out a couple of weeks ago. We had over 200 people fill that in. So thank you very much for doing that. If you filled it in, that's really helpful for us, and we'll be feeding that back next week. And we are also working on another project at the moment as well, which is looking at more around policy and how government and boards such as Sport England, for example, can influence inclusive sport and physical activity. So that's the other one we're working on at the moment. Thank you very much, Jill.
Oh, thank you very much. That's excellent. Now, a few slides on our policy and campaigning work, and regular attendees at this will know that we lead on inclusive participation because we've had our voice members telling about the work they've been doing within the DSA and with all sorts of other organisations. We're going to hear about that a little bit later, and we have hundreds of people who have Down syndrome who are helping with that, and we're at the forefront of that people with Down syndrome at the forefront of our decision making and our work. Everything we do is about supporting the rights of people who have Down syndrome to live full and rewarding lives, with a focus on equal rights. And we challenge discrimination, and a lot of that is done through our helpline service, with letters being written and help being given, and that's happening all of the time. There's a link, you can read more about current campaigns. I've just highlighted a few of these here. The Tell It Right campaign, which is a lot more than just the Tell It Right training, but that is ongoing all of the time, for better information for pregnant women, couples, new parents. And I put in green what's happened this week, and we're working on improving information with some films on NHS, the NHS website. So we're working on that. On education, and inclusion is still a big issue. So we campaign for the rights of all learners who have Down syndrome to inclusive and equitable education and lifelong learning opportunities. And a reminder that 40 years ago, it was our pioneering campaign that directly led to the inclusion of children in mainstream schools. And the DSA, hired a barrister and provided the information and training to make this happen, and that we continue to campaign for full inclusion. And we are planning a webinar with Rhonda, who's one of the authors that I worked with on the international guidelines for education from very little to throughout adult life. So keep out an eye for that. Health, we campaign for better health care, and most recently, the success of our work during the COVID-19 pandemic led to people receiving their vaccines early. We work closely with the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group of UK and Ireland. And I've put in this week, we've met again with Cambridge University researchers who kind of prompted, initiated and supported by the parents, by us, through the parents that contact us and tell us their stories, to look more closely into non-dementia types of regressions that are still unusual but are happening to teenagers and younger adults. We know something about that, but we're supporting research which is planned to start in October, and there'll be an explanatory webinar with the researchers before that begins. So that's what's been happening this week. And It's My Life, Adult Life. We campaign for life choices that everyone is entitled to and should have, through our wide expert team accessed through the helpline. Okay, to support everyone to live the lives they want to live as independently as possible. And we run the successful employment programme WorkFit. For what's happening this week, excuse me, is we're working on new information for a major social care campaign. We'll tell you more about that in further updates. Now, Julian isn't able to be here today, so I'm talking through what's been happening on meetings with government in England and in Wales, and beginning with, but you all know that what the new rules are right now. We can visit cafes, pubs and restaurants indoors. We can meet 6 people from 2 different households indoors. Up to 30 people can meet outside, and we can hug family and friends at home, not in the workplace. And this advice, there's no longer a specific shielding advice. It's about personal choice and doing what you feel is safe for you. I've added in a picture of opening windows because that's still recommended for everybody for indoors. Hopefully we'll have warm weather and it'll be fine to have all of our windows open when we meet with people. This is the link to the easy read guide to this process of lockdown lifting. And at our weekly meeting with government, we asked for clarity on when local authority day activities will restart. And we again raised the issue of guidance for supported living settings. We were told a new document will be issued next week. Okay. And then Julian is on the Ministerial Advisory Group for Wales, and on Tuesday we joined in with writing a letter to the First Minister asking for the new government a new learning disability improvement plan for Wales, and submitted feedback about how people who have a learning disability have been affected by the pandemic, so the First Minister can take this to a meeting with the Prime Minister next week. A reminder about our helpline, and that's quite a broad team. It's not just the person you might speak to or might call you back on the helpline. All of those are confidential calls and emails, and that we have lots of specialists within our team. And we also process and support parent carer referrals for advice with the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group. And a new theme this week has been the rise again of inquiries about neck instability and trampolining and snowboarding, and the issues which we haven't had for the last year because those things haven't been happening. So I've put in the link, and we've got 2 pieces of information, and a lot of work went into those with experts in the field of neck instability. So go to those if you need any information about where things are with neck conditions. Okay, thank you. A little slide about what's happening in the next month or so. On Monday, we have the complex needs meeting where Geraldine will be looking at some key issues over the years and answering questions. Pregnancy and baby online support meeting on Tuesday, sharing positive support, which is behaviour case studies rather than training on behaviour, on the 20th of May. Wellbeing Wednesday, 26th of May, Work Fit 3rd of June, Restore to Mini. We haven't put this on the website yet, but that's health related training that Julian will be doing for parent carers. Education, 15th of June, primary, early development, 22nd of June. The planning for the future 1 and 2 are 25th of June and 2nd of July, and they are now on the website. And then a new one, Our Journey with Positive Behaviour Support with Debbie Austin and Joe Wilcox. That's scheduled for the 6th of July. And we'd recommend that to everybody. It'll be a very useful presentation for everybody. Debbie's the parent of a child who has a dual diagnosis with autism, and she has her story and successes to share, but that'll be good for everybody. Tell It Right is continual and daily. Stuck. Having a little glitch here. Right, back to it. And we have mathematics webinars and international education guidelines webinars being lined up. And now over to Alison.
Okay, hi everyone, lovely to see you once again. Just to recap for anybody who doesn't know, WorkFit is the employment programme that we run at the Down Syndrome Association. Myself and a small team operate across England and Wales to help people to access employment opportunities. And that can be paid work, work experience, volunteering, supported internship, supported apprenticeship. So just to clarify for anyone who wasn't aware. Thanks, Jill. Okay, so I wanted to show you a video that we created a couple of years ago now with Ollie and Cameron, who live near Dundee in Scotland. And the theme of this was to talk about how it's never too early to start thinking about work and your career and what you might want to do when you get older. So it's a really nice film about Ollie and Cameron trying a few different jobs and seeing what they liked and what they enjoyed. Thanks, Jill.
Only 6% of adults with a learning disability are in paid employment. We want to change that. It's never too early to inspire.
I'm 6. I'm Karen, I'm 6.
I think it's really important to speak to the boys about work. They might only be little, but I want them to grow up knowing that they can have a place, they can have a job, they can participate in society, that they presume that that's what's going to happen, just like it will with their friends without disabilities.
Mummy, what's that?
That is a superhero. That'd be a cool job.
What's that, Mummy?
That's a hairdresser. Should we go and see a hairdresser?
Yeah.
Yeah. Off we go.
Put my head back. That's not clean.
Are you excited to try out some other jobs?
Yeah.
Yay! Working with people with disabilities before being a parent, was very aware that once school and college finished, that not many people actually went on into employment and didn't really have a reason to get up out of bed in the morning and felt that self-worth.
There you go. And what's this one?
I think having a job when Ollie and Cameron are adults would allow them to really live in a way that's analogous to their mainstream peers, like to be able to go out and buy their own food and to save up for a treat that they want without having to depend on mum and dad all the time, or to be able to just, as we all want to do, to be able to, if we want something, to be able to get it, and to be able to do that you need to get a job that pays your wages. So sometimes the prospect of hiring somebody with a disability can be daunting. They feel like it's not achievable, they don't know, they expect that there are massive barriers that need to be conquered, when actually, in reality, that's not the case. We're going to watch some videos of things that you could do when you're older for jobs.
So, what jobs?
What jobs? Let's
What
find out.
kind of jobs?
My Ben, my 22. My work, that's surface.
I love the staff. Yeah, because they're very friendly and talkative. The best thing is going to be preparing, plating up and stuff.
My company is called Department of Environment, Food and Royal Affairs.
Good morning. Here to see Mark Williams.
Okay, would you like to sign in, please? And here's your badge, your ID badge.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Although it might seem a long time until your child may need to think about work, supporting WorkFit is really important because it's paving the way for our children's future. Talk to your boss about WorkFit. It won't cost them anything, and they may get a new member of staff.
Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that. And a big part of what we do at WorkFit is working with employers that we partner with in terms of breaking down those barriers that Elaine talked about there, providing them with bespoke training and advice and support to make WorkFit a success for them. Just a few photos here of people who are going into jobs in the next few weeks. We're missing one photo of a young man actually, but these guys are going into jobs in hospitality, retail, central government, and warehousing and logistics in the next few weeks. So we're delighted with the number of opportunities that we've been able to re-energise and develop. So congratulations to all of those guys. I know they're very excited about starting new jobs soon. Thanks, Jill. And just a quick reminder, as we've mentioned, 3rd of June, we're having another WorkFit event where we'll be hearing from candidates and their employers about what they want to do and how they want to do it. And just seen a question pop up there, and yes, WorkFit is provided free of charge to candidates and employers. So if you want to book a place for the WorkFit event on the 3rd of June, please do so. The link is on there. I think that's it from me, Jill.
Thank you very much,
Nice
Alison.
to see everyone. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, there's your contact Twitter details. Thanks, Alison. And now I'd like to introduce Sam, who's going to be talking about, well, himself and also our voice. Okay.
I think Sam's just going somewhere quiet by the looks of things.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Sam.
Now, Sam, this is my video about how I was feeling about my second vaccine.
Okay, I'm going to click the video now.
So Sam, could you tell us about your experience of getting the second vaccine?
Yes, my second vaccine went well. I have no side effects, no dizziness, no headaches and no sickness. And also it went very well. I am fully vaccinated, and that means I can go out more and I feel alive, and I'm a very tough cookie after I had my fully vaccinated, my second one.
So Sam,
we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of our voice. We are going to talk about some of the highlights. Our voice is part of the DSA team. We are working together for change. We share our interests, passions, and experience with each other. We made a video for World Down Syndrome Day. We started a Facebook group. Anyone who has Down syndrome can get access to our Voice Facebook group. We now have over 100 members like our Facebook page. It's so cool. Lots of us have spoken at the DSA updates like this one. We work with universities and resources. We have worked with Down Syndrome International to make an app. This will help people with Down syndrome join in with organizations around the world. We make things to help people during the coronavirus. We gave off ideas on how to make a letter more accessible. It was for the Department of Health and Social Care and was sent to everyone on the CE3 list. We had 2 groups about the listen include respect guidelines. We would work as consultants. The guidelines are going to help organize around the world, including people with Down syndrome. Emotional well-being resources.
so we're over to Stuart now. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, I just want to mention our emotional wellbeing resources. Now, Our Voice group were a central part of this. So as a group, we produced a suite of emotional wellbeing resources. There's a resource for supporters. There's an audio relaxation resource and a video that features some members of the Our Voice group talking about relaxing. And there is a set of written resources covering various topics around emotional wellbeing. So Our Voice were an integral part of that project. All of these resources are free to download from DSA's website. In addition to members of Our Voice, I believe we consulted 90 and upwards people who have Down syndrome about the accessible resources. Thanks very much, and I'll pass on to Chris.
Thanks, Stuart. So Our Voice members have been absolutely integral to some fantastic interviews over the last year. As you can see in the sort of top left corner, Alexandra participated in a fantastic interview with Reese, who is director of a company called Woogie Big Pants. Top right, you could see Isla and Lindsay interviewing Mr. Motivator, and that was absolutely brilliant. Luckily, I was lucky to be able to take part in that one, and it was a fantastic interview. We had great fun. And bottom right, we can see Lexi interviewing a beatboxer called Kimmy Beatboxer recently. And yep, as a group, we're looking forward to future interviews because, as I say, that we've kicked off with some fantastic interviews over the last year. And now I'm going to pass on to Jane.
It's on to me now.
Oh, sorry, Robin.
That's all right. So this is a kind of selection of videos which was made by a huge amount of members of Our Voice, and they are all sharing their story of how 2020 was for them. They are now all compiled onto one blog page on our website, and they're really quite brilliant. We've got all different kinds of people on there sharing what changed for them, obviously talking about some of the things that were tough, but also some really great advice for people and positive ideas for moving forward. So I'd really suggest going and having a look at these just to get an idea of what our group members have been up to. And now I'll to Jane.
Okay, I'll just start off by introducing Amy it's a very short video about making sure everyone is included.
Hi, so here's
Isla, sorry.
Isla. That's okay. I'll click the button now.
We make sure everyone is included. This is Our Voice.
Lovely. Thank you, Isla.
And yeah, just quickly to talk about how we do try and make everyone included. The sessions, the online meetups, as you saw, they've been going for a year. We're celebrating the first anniversary, and we've seen the members of Our Voice gradually join in more and more and share their ideas. But what's even better than us noticing that is that they're actually telling us that they feel more confident and they want to tell everybody what they think about things. The members, they contribute in different ways. Some people write in the chat, some will show photographs. Some members of Our Voice attend the session with someone else supporting them. And we just try and make sure that the sessions work for everyone. And there's always an opportunity to talk one-to-one to the Our Voice members if they want to ask any questions about what we've been discussing during the weekly sessions. And I think I'm going to pass back to Sam just to finish off.
Do you want to do this last slide, Sam?
Yeah, I will do, yes. This week we have been planning for the future. More information soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam and Jane and Robin and Chris. And now to Kate and Stuart as well. Thank you.
Is it me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Well, I hope the sun is shining with you and it's not too wet and miserable. This little clip will raise a smile, I'm sure. This is one of our oral histories for our 50th anniversary. This is Susan, who is an amazing advocate based up in Leeds. She's has ambitions to become an MP, but also likes hobbies. And this little clip talks about some of her other hobbies. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
I'm more into my dolls, but I like making things with my hands. Needlework. My mum didn't used to do embroidery, I did. I don't know how I started that really. In crochet wise, when my auntie used to do it, I still do them right now, and I keep thinking, when I do them, they're alongside me. I feel relaxed. I make things like blankets. I do like patchwork and knitting wise, and also, and when I do my squares, I cross them around them afterwards.
Thank you, Susan. We're going to move to questions now, but just to remind you that we'll be doing this again. We do it every Friday, and a big thank you to everybody for joining. I'm going to stop the screen share so that we can look at the questions together. Okay. So if everybody would like to put their cameras on, you put yours on, Sam, as well, in case you'd like to say anything. First question is about the survey for DS Engage. Sharon.
I can take that.
Oh, you're
one,
lovely. Okay. Thank you.
So it was sent round in an email from me, probably about a week and a half ago, but I will resend it this afternoon so that everyone can see it again in case it gets lost in the inbox or anything. And on your reminder emails for any DS Engage events that you sign up, I will also put the link in there.
Thank you, Alex. Alison, I think you've answered that WorkFit is entirely free. And there's also a question about support for parents getting back to work.
Well, I'm happy to have a call if somebody wants to drop me an email at dsworkfit@downs-syndrome.org.uk. It's not something that we usually get involved with, but I might be able to signpost you to some resources or signpost you to someone in the information team. So please get in touch and we'll see what we can do, as always.
Thank you. There's a question about age for vaccines. And I expect you're aware that young vaccinations for younger people under 16 are now being looked at. Some people with Down syndrome, some younger people with Down syndrome have them, but it's where they have individual health needs that have necessitated that decision with their GPs. We are keeping a careful watch on that, and we'll be letting you know as soon as we hear anything about vaccinations for children. Thank you. A question about offering help in supporting children with speech and language therapy. We have a lot of information about speech and language on our website, including free resources. We can answer emails. We have a highly specialist speech and language therapist who's always pleased to give people advice, and we also subsidize individual assessments and reports with her. There's great demand for that. They're very popular and very successful, but you can email us at info@, and we'll get messages over to her. So thank you for that question. Now, Claude has asked, how do we access it? I'm not sure. Well, right. Thank you, Claude. It's about the emotional wellbeing resources. They're all free. Oh, you don't know how to use them. Right. Probably best that if you talk to one of our team on the helpline. They are designed mostly for people to have someone to help them to use them. Stuart, would you like to say any more about that?
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy to talk to the person who placed the inquiry, and actually there is an accompanying supporters resource which covers life issues generally and areas of emotional well-being. And within the different section of the supporters resource, there will be reference to the individual accessible resources people who have Down syndrome and how they will be relevant to that particular subject area and how you might sort of use them. But yes, I'm very happy to have a conversation.
Thanks, Stuart. And a question for Robin on Our Voice about minimum age for joining Our Voice.
Hi there. So the minimum age for joining Our Voice on your own is 13, but people are welcome to join with support. So we try and make sure that everyone can be included. I should say at the moment, the weekly check-in kind of conversation work group is currently full, but I can put the link to sign up in the chat. And if you sign up, you'll get updates about the group and it will automatically put you on the waiting list and let you know about any other groups that we may start. Thank you.
Thank you. A question about suggesting themes for webinars, and you have the info at email address, and everybody is welcome, anybody, to email us with suggestions that we can consider. We base a lot of our themes on the things that people ask us about through the helpline and generally through our work. So yeah, please do that. A question about books on getting jobs and learning about different kinds of jobs for Alison.
Okay, so we tend to take an approach that's very much about the individual. So what we'd want to do is probably have a chat with you and find out about what you wanted to do, what you enjoy, what ideas you might have about your career and work. And in terms of different jobs, we can offer some taster sessions for jobs that people may want to try. So just sort of a couple of hours here and there in different types of environments to give people a bit more insight, a bit more context into particular jobs. So as I say, please do get in touch and let us know how we can help, and we'd be very happy to do that.
Thank you. And a question about annual reviews and EHCPs. And again, you're welcome to contact us and we can arrange a discussion about any questions on anything, but including education and annual reviews and EHCPs. So thank you for that question. I think that's all of the questions, unless anybody here can see that I've missed one. No? Well, we've gone over time. So very big thank you to everybody who's joined us today. We hope to see you again next week. And